Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Hey, Patrol members, and welcome to Christmas edition of the Mojave Patrol. Welcome back. So, a long time ago, I promised you guys that I was going to try something here on the show that have the grape Kool-Aid, you know what's coming. I had done last Christmas time. So I was at Kohls, around this time last year, and there was a kit on sale where it came with a bottle and all the spices. And you filled it up with vodka, and then you let it steep. And it said for 48 hours. Well, it's been steeping for 360 some odd days. And here it is. Let it infuse for, not 48 hours, 3 to 5 hours. Then strain a generous shot of infused mix over ice for a lighter option. Top with tonic water and garnish with a slice of orange. Refrigerate after adding alcohol. Well, it's been refrigerated. So I'm going to bust the seal. And the reason I put the seal on it is because the cork kept popping out. It smells like a soft drink. But I know it's not a soft drink. I was supposed to use a strainer, but I don't have a strainer. It's a very unusual smell. It's unlike anything I've ever smelled before. And we have a Antano Gran Reserva Joya de Nicaragua Maduro cigar. There you go. What do you think? My wastebasket is way out of frame. Okay, so guys, we're filming in the. I'm sorry for all the echoing noise. We were filming inside the Mojave Patrol study. It is very windy and wet and rainy outside right now. So this is a smoking knife. It's got a piercer, a knife, a tamper for a pipe, a nail file, you name it. It's very vintage. I would say it's 50 to 60 years old. The knife is very sharp. And it came in this little leather pouch here. You know, what do you know? It's got a nice draw. But I like to use the piercer to open it up a little bit more. And give me a little bit better draw. Oh yeah. We're going to put it away. Okay. Oh. There's a ribbon, a red ribbon around the front that says GT 20. GT 20, right there. But before we strike a light, we have to try this. It's got a nice color to it. Wow. It is very, very sweet, and it's very, very spicy. Almost like a liqueur. I'm going to say yes, it's very holiday-like. Oh, I got a piece of detritus in my mouth. I don't know what that is. Probably some of the little floaties in the top here. And it's very, very sticky. You wouldn't want to drink too much of this. Trust me. My hanky way. I'm very comfortable. Got my jammy jams on. Got my Don't Bother Me, I'm Holding a Cigar shirt. So now let's try this. That's not bad. That's a good cigar. That was a very good cigar. Oh my gosh. Boy, this cigar was worth every nickel. I'll use this hand so I'm not casting shadows. Mm. Mm. Wow. That's a very good cigar. Is this crooked? Yeah, it's a little crooked. I did this very hastily. I've been very, very busy. Today we bought a refrigerator. That's a separate video. It's going to be a short one. We've been doing a lot of running around. We've had a lot of things going on. We've had, I got a couple of friends that are very ill. So, if you can say, I'm not going to say their names because I don't know if they want me to, but you can, when you make your prayers, just say, hey, can keep an eye on Bill's two friends that are very ill. God knows exactly who they are. It's not all doom and gloom. One of my best friends just became a grandfather last night. His daughter gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and we're all over the moon about it. She's very, very, very cute. Very cute baby. So let's, here's hoping and praying that everything works out for the newborn. There you go. And that aside, we were very busy today running around. We were busy yesterday. Last minute Christmas shopping, doing this, doing that. Looking at appliances. Our refrigerator is probably from the 70s. And we got it secondhand. And it was beat up when we got it. But it still works. But we have the wherewithal now to get a new television. We're going to refrigerator, not television. We have the wherewithal to get a new refrigerator, and that'll be here on Wednesday. Yeah, got a lot of things going on. Got a lot of plans. Hopefully they'll all come to fruition, right? Christmas is coming. I'm really into old-fashioned Christmas. We're watching A Christmas Story. Now, if you've never seen it, in A Christmas Story, Ralphie wants to get a Red Ryder BB rifle with a compass in the stock and a thing that tells time. And it's all about his adventures trying to get this for Christmas. Now, I came from a very, very small town. So small that if you watch A Christmas Story, my Christmases as a boy were very much like that. Everybody had really old cars. I went to a really old brick school. I wore very similar clothing. We had an old black and white TV. My grandmother had an old radio that she would listen to. She would babysit me when my parents were at work. Both my parents worked, so she was the babysitter. She would take me to school and pick me up from school, and I'd spend the night a lot of times, when my parents needed a break. And it was very much like that. Hang on one second. I'm back. Okay. Where did I go? First, we need another sip. Yes, we were talking about A Christmas Story. Ralphie wanted the Red Ryder 200 shot range You wanted the Red Ryder 200-shot lever-action rifle with a compass in the stock and a thing that tells time. When Gene Shepard was very young, yes, he wanted that rifle. This is basically a story he wrote based on his life. But Gene Shepard was a little bit older than Ralphie at the time this takes place. It takes place between 1939 and 1940. That's when the story is set. There's a lot of debate about that, but we're going to roll with that because of a lot of the vehicles and the clothing and the calendars and the dates and stuff you see in the film. It's all around 39 to 40, 41 in there. So, what Gene wanted, or quote-unquote Ralphie, was a Buck Jones 200-shot pump-action range rifle with a compass in the stock and a thing that tells time. And here from 1939 is an original Buck Jones pump-action rifle with a compass in the stock and the thing that tells time. And very faintly, right in here, is the word Buck Jones engraved in the receiver. And yes, this is an actual, original, working Buck Jones range rifle. I'm missing the escutcheon that goes around the compass. But the little compass pointing to north. And there's the sundial, or the thing that tells time. I'm not going to pump it for you because there are BBs in it. And I can't shoot it in this room. So a Buck Jones 200-shot pump action repeating rifle. How's my battery look? 25% I've used up. This is actually working. Apparently it is. This is a camera I rarely use. I'm trying to use it because it's a much better camera than the other cameras I'm using. Darn it! Before we go any farther, I want to give a shout out to my buddy June. June, I did you wrong on my other videos. I said I was going to give you a big shout out and I didn't. And I haven't forgotten you, pal. You're a great guy. I worked with June at Disney, you know. I worked with a lot of people at Disney that I really miss a lot. People like Sabrina and June and Bill and Amy. She's probably never going to see these videos, but Amy, you know who you are. Lauren. Linda. Melissa 1 and Melissa 2. You know who you are. Jubar. You know. A lot of people. It would take me all day to name them all. But I miss all you guys. I miss working at Disney a lot. I don't miss standing out in the rain. I don't miss the freezing cold. I don't miss the boiling heat. But hey, at least I miss something, right? So anyway, Christmas Story. Anyway, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it several times every Christmas season. And then Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, they made a second film. They made several films. Gene Shepard made several films about his youth. But the second film, A Christmas Story, Christmas, that is a good film. I don't usually tear up in sappy Christmas films, but that movie made me tear up. That is a very good film. It takes place many years later in the 70s. Ralphie's grown up, he's got a wife, he's got his own kids. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it, but it's a really tugging at the heartstrings, feel-good movie. I've already watched Rudolph. I've already watched the original Grinch with Boris Karloff and, you know, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, sung by Little Ravenscroft. If you've never seen it, you're missing out. We watched some of the Frosty the Snowman, watched some of the minor ones. I haven't watched Santa Claus Conquers the Martians or The Christmas That Almost Wasn't, two movies from my childhood. I haven't seen Charlie Brown Christmas yet. I'm saving that for closer to Christmas. That movie touches me because, or that show touches me because that is the very first Christmas I spent without my mother. That came out the year my mother passed. Rudolph came out the year before that. And then I've seen all the iterations of The Grinch. I've seen the first one, the Jim Carrey one, which I enjoyed. And then the animated one with Benedict Cumberbatch, which I like. 8 o'clock. It's a very old electric clock from the 1930s. It's sort of an Art Deco clock. And then in just a couple of minutes, my 125-year-old Japanese wall clock will chime. It runs a little slow. I'm regulating it right now. Anyway, I really enjoy the Benedict Cumberbatch version of The Grinch. I like that a lot. And the Alistair Sims version of Scrooge. I've already watched that. I haven't watched The Muppet Christmas Carol yet, which I enjoy. And I'm debating as to whether I'm going to watch the one with Patrick Stewart. Now, the one with Patrick Stewart and the one with Alistair Sims are apparently the closest version to the book. So, well, actually, they say the Jim Carrey version of Scrooge is very close, and I've seen that too, but I haven't seen it this year. So I haven't seen Mickey's A Christmas Carol yet. I'm going to see that. And I love it. I love everything there is about the Christmas season. I like watching all the, not watching, but I like listening to all the old Christmas radio shows from the 1940s. Some can be real tearjerkers. Because remember during World War II, there were a lot of people missing Christmas. The song I'll Be Home for Christmas that Bing Crosby sang in the 40s is about basically a GI in some godforsaken rat hole singing about I'll be home for Christmas. If only in his dreams. Actually, I did a video on my old channel about that. I mean, they really threw a lot of hard punches during the Second World War. I was listening to a Jack Benny program from 1943, and they had Jane Wyman selling war bonds. And Jack says, we'll go on with the show in just a minute, folks, but here's a message from Jane Wyman, which I think we all need to hear. And she comes out, and she starts saying, all over the world, there are cute little cottages and villages. Many of the people who live in these little cottages are getting ready to greet these little villages and they're getting ready to ring in Christmas. All over the world, there's little villages and little towns and little hamlets with cottages and huts. They're all preparing for the Christmas season. And in many of these little villages and hamlets, there's a lot of little huts and cottages that are empty tonight. And where are the people that live in these cottages? I'll tell you where they are. They're dead. And they died fighting for you to bring freedom back to the world. And you're like, oh my God! God! So tonight when you're sitting around drinking a glass of wine or getting ready for your holiday festivities tomorrow, remember that people all over the world are struggling and suffering and dying so you can have your Christmas. Remember that. So when someone comes to your door or you go to the theater and ask you to buy war bonds, give generously. I'm like, geez Louise. And then there was a Jack Benny program where he says, tonight's Christmas Eve, folks. And tomorrow you're going to be enjoying your ham or your turkey or your duck with your family gathered around you in your nice warm house, looking at the beautiful colored Christmas lights around your tree. And what does the GI have? His Christmas dinner is a frozen K ration, and his Christmas lights are the colors of the tracers screaming over his head as he hunkers down in a frozen or muddy hot foxhole somewhere in the world. And we need to give, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God dang. So I'm not going to be as brutal as they are. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Being a veteran, nothing was better than getting a letter from home. Oh sure, we live in modern times where you can just talk to a person directly, but man, you can't always talk to a person directly. And that's where a letter comes in handy. You can reach into your pocket and read the letter and reread the letter and reread the letter. So if you have a relative on active duty, write him a letter. Send it to him. It's a small price to pay to make him feel better this holiday. If someone's overseas, write him a letter. even if you don't have somebody overseas, go to any veterans organization and say, hey, I would like to send a letter to a soldier overseas so he knows that people are thinking about him this Christmas. And they'll tell you where you can send it. They'll give you a list of names. Contact the VA. Contact the VFW. Contact the American Legion. They'll all help you out. And maybe you can put something in the letter. Maybe you can drop in, you can send a Christmas card. Or maybe you can send a small package. Who knows? Cookies, handkerchiefs, hand wipes. Anything. Anything to make that gentleman's life or that woman's life a little bit easier. Could you do that for me? Because I'm going to do it. Do it. Okay, enough of the PSA. This was pretty good. I think I'm going to have another little touch. And then back in the fridge it goes. I think I want to take it with me on, we're going to a friend's house for a Christmas celebration. I'll bring that with me and we'll pass around the bottle. So what's your favorite Christmas program? Oh, so real quick. Whoa, whoa. I don't know if I'm leaning back in this old chair. You can't see the chair, but my desk chair, the one I use for editing, came from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, not too far from here. And it's from the 1960s. So I'm sure that some of the astronauts are in space, John Glenn, Alan Shepard, God knows who, was, Gordon Cooper, were flying out of space. There was a technician sitting in this very chair helping that poor guy. Yeah. But I lost my train of thought. Oh my God. My train of thought jumped the track because it's on a narrow gauge. Anyway, oh yeah, we went to a theater and saw It's a Wonderful Life in the round, and they duplicated a 1947 It's a Wonderful Life for Lux Radio Theater, and I actually found that copy on YouTube. So my wife and I are probably going to listen to it tonight with Lionel Barrymore playing Scrooge. Well, that thing, I was out of focus. I must have this set up wrong. I have to have a buddy correct it for me. Oh, yeah. So put down in the comments, what was your favorite Christmas program? There we go. What was your favorite Christmas program? Something I've never seen? Something I have seen? So, anyway, I guess that's about it. I've rambled on long enough. How long is this? 19 minutes? So, to all my friends and family members out there and all my patrol members, I really appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Ring the little bell. Put a comment down in the comments. I know I don't get a ton of views, and I understand that. Some people think this is the most boring thing in the world. But hey, not everything's exciting. So, from all of us to all of you, a very Merry Christmas.
Hey, Jack, how about a toast from you?
Me? Yeah, I'd like to give a toast too, Don. This is a toast to a lot of fellas I met in Africa, Europe, and the South Pacific. And to all you other boys out there I wasn't lucky enough to meet. Fellas, this is Christmas Eve, a time for happiness and good fellowship. A time when our hearts should be humble and forgiving. But this is war. And I've seen what you boys are up against on both sides of the world. I know the Christmas spirit must seem a very distant thing when you're crouched in a muddy foxhole or wading through the half-frozen slush. I know, too, that there's very little to remind you of Christmas inside a stifling tank or in the icy cockpit of a B-29 6 miles above Tokyo. Maybe you feel it as something you lost long, long ago, because the only Christmas lights you see are the burst of shells or the flashing path cut by tracer bullets. But Christmas is a spirit that springs from within and is so strong it transcends even the ugly scenes of a battlefield and fills the soul with a passion to defend the things that are right and just. You are the ones who have gone to the ends of the earth to preserve the freedom you know belongs to every man, to hasten the day when all mankind can once again live in dignity and in peace. So here's to you, fellas. Merry Christmas, and God bless you all.
Now look to Packard for two great lines of cars, the new Packard and Packard Clipper. Here is the exciting new Packard Clipper with big car value at medium car cost, built for those who want a quality car at a price within the average family income. The advanced contour styling of these powerful 8-cylinder Packard Clippers is setting the new trend in automobile design. And for America's new choice in fine cars, now look to the luxurious new Packard. This Packard Patrician is America's most individual car, with proved Packard power brakes, power steering, and famous Packard Ultramatic. The beautiful custom-styled Packard represents the finest automobile ever built. Yes, Packard offers two new lines of cars. The exciting Clipper for big car value at medium car cost, and the luxurious new Packard, truly America's new choice in fine cars.